It's 7 o'clock. It's Thursday night. I'm Mac James, stand-up comic, and it's time for Stand Up for News. Welcome back, nation. This is Stand Up for News. We are stand-up comics, and we tell the news. I am your host, Mac James, James Esterline. This is my co-host, Robin, Macho Woman Savage. Say hello.
Hello, and happy leap year to everyone out there in Radioland.
Welcome back. And this is our other co-host, Captain Jim Marvin, stand-up comedian. Say hello.
Ahoy on the airwaves and on the ocean waves.
And, of course, my co-host, Manny Avila, stand-up comic. Say hello.
I will not say hello, but I will say hi.
Okay, fair enough. We got some serious news. Robin, do you want to get right into current news today? I'd like you to start out.
Okay. A case of unopened hockey cards were sold in Canada for more than $3.7 million. The box is rumored to contain 24 of Wayne Gretzky's rookie cards.
Whoa.
Yeah. Wow. That is the American football equivalent of 12 Joe Namath cards during his full fur coat era.
That's standing up for the news, because the news can't stand up for itself. It was born without any legs. It's in a wheelchair all the time, you know. And if someone wants to bully the news, they contact us here at WTAN, Stand Up for News Radio on Tan Talk, and they call us at 727-441-3000. That's 727-441-3000. Ants Rants, if you want to call in, you can. You know, it's still Black History Month. It's one time every 4 years where they get an extra day of their month. You know, it's pretty cool. So it's a leap year day or whatever. All right, Captain Jim Marvin, over to you.
All right, thank you, James. Today, both President Biden and Donald Trump visited the southern border in Texas. Earlier in the week, reporter and human dingleberry Sean Hannity attacked President Joe Biden over his visit plan, saying the trip is, quote, a cynical, sick political stunt by the president, unquote, before Hannity announced that he planned to join Trump during his visit to the border. A representative of the Biden campaign told Stand Up for News, quote, well, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle's border visit black. I don't think that's how that saying's supposed to work.
I don't know.
Pot's green.
Yeah, my dingleberries aren't as white as Sean Hannity.
My dingleberries are green too.
Usually, I don't know if it's because I'm Spanish. But
usually brown. What did you write in the car on the way here?
So former FBI informant indicted for lying about President Joe Biden's family and their alleged dealings in Ukraine has been rearrested in Nevada, because as every American should know, there are two things that definitely don't mix: lies and politicians.
Right on. That's standing up for the news. All right. Well, locally, the search has been suspended for missing Pinellas County paddleboarder, you guys. They went missing. Yeah. I never get bored when I get paddled. Ever.
How does someone know that a paddleboard is missing? I don't even know.
I don't know. But when I get paddled, I never get bored. Mom, over to you.
Okay. To add on what Jim had talked about, Biden and Trump both went to the Mexican border today. Biden went to the Rio Grande Valley, which is the busiest corridor for illegal crossings. Trump went to Brownsville. Both men forgot where they were immediately on arrival.
Yeah, that's crazy. Brownsville is like the number one spot for trafficking narcotics through our country. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
It's from Mexico. Well, it's
Brownsville.
You should call it Greensville. Like those dingleberries. Go ahead.
They're in the green.
Go ahead, Captain Jim.
Senator Mitch McConnell announced on Wednesday that he will step down as leader of the Senate Republican Conference, capping off his tenure as the longest-serving Senate party leader in U.S. history. In a statement to reporters, the outgoing minority leader said, quote, mumble, mumble, blah, 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 abba, dabba, zabba. Yeah, we're going to miss you too, Mushmouth.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, I thought you were having a stroke there for a second. I got nervous.
That's how you have to do an impression of a cow.
Thank you.
I didn't know turtles made noises other than cowabunga. You know? Looks like a little turtle, right?
I say it's shell time.
Senior citizen mutant turtles.
Turtle power.
Yeah.
All right,
Republican
this saddens
power.
me being a Philadelphia native, but the Philadelphia Phillies are scrapping their $1 hot dog nights following unruly fan behavior. That's been going on for years. They started throwing hot dogs to the opposing team. And Philly fans are much like my ex-girlfriend. You get a few drinks in them, and they don't know how to act around a wiener. Pretty sad, yeah.
Some real sad news though is Richard Lewis passed away. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Richard Lewis was the old spokesperson for Boku. It was an adult juice box from the 80s, but that died off. Just like ironically, Richard Lewis died off, and he's also in a box.
Oh, wow. It's not quite juices yet, I don't think. But,
I don't think he's Jewish, so I couldn't make a Jewish joke.
I think he is Jewish.
Oh, well, maybe I could have. I don't know.
couldn't get any more Jewish than him.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, well,
Jim was a little excited
there's
about
juice in a box, and there's a Jew in a box.
Jim, when I told Jim
But
about
anyway,
it,
I loved his comedy. Rest
it
in
was great.
peace,
Yeah,
man.
it was great.
Yeah,
And I told Jim
I
about
grew
it.
up with him,
Jim got a little excited about it. I had to tell him to curb his enthusiasm.
Well, his enthusiasm has been curbed.
Quite a bit.
I really thought he passed like 5 years ago.
No.
I think I'm in my own like Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
I
yeah.
really do. Other things have happened like this before.
Yeah, Richard Lewis effect. Is what it's
The Momdella effect. Mom's losing it. All right, whose turn? Mom's turn, yes. Over to you and more news.
I wrote both a Mitch McConnell joke and a Philadelphia Phillies joke. So I'll tell you what, even though it was saturated, I'm going to tell the Mitch McConnell joke with almost the same punchline.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mitch McConnell will step down as Senate GOP leader after the 2024 election. Sources close to McConnell say this may be difficult since he needs to be sure not to trip and land on his shell. The last time that happened, his little feet thrashed around for hours.
Yeah, they said his last meal while he's in office there is going to be pizza. Splinter allowed it. Splinter allowed it.
Thanks
Yes.
for not speaking like you were having a stroke during your joke. I appreciate it.
Does that make you uncomfortable, man?
Mhm.
Yes, you make me uncomfortable.
That's what all my girlfriends say. All right. So, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is facing criticism for hiring a law clerk who allegedly sent a racist text to a colleague which read, quote, "I hate black people, like F them all. I hate blacks. End of story," unquote. This is not what I'm saying. This is what this other person said. Stand Up for News asked Justice Thomas's office for a response, and they sent us a statement which read, quote, "We have reviewed the allegation and have determined that Ms. Clanton's views about African Americans reflect those of Justice Thomas." Wait, wow, I'm benched.
Okay.
Jesus, Jim, it's Black History Month. Wow. You take it easy, will you? My gosh. All right. Well, no, other non-racist news. So a quirky English pub known as the Waterhole, is the name of it, is known for being on a slant, right? They built it on a crooked slant. It was bulldozed after a fire last year, and it's being rebuilt with the same crooked angle, right? When asked why they want to keep the original uneven design, the owner said, he wants the building to look like the average British person's teeth. Crooked. I had to. This is an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing thing between me and Crooked. Yeah. There's any British people who listen to the show, they hate me. You know?
Who cares about them? All right. We address the nation, not the whole world. We cover the world news, but who cares about England? All right. Local news in Pinellas County. A father was murdered one day after his son was murdered. You guys, they were both killed. Yeah. I guess they took the like father, like son literally, I guess. Last week.
The bullet didn't fall far from the tree, I guess.
Well, one of them was shot, and the other one was intentionally run over and murdered.
Oh, wow.
Some gang warfare
What,
stuff.
the JFKs? Like, did
There was some warfare in the gangster stuff, you know.
Must have been Brownsville, right?
That was in Pinellas County. You weren't listening. You're in Pinellas County. That was 2 days ago. It's too soon for that?
I'm going to circle
too soon for
back around to the Philadelphia Phillies
okay.
because it's not, again, almost like the same punchline that Manny had. So the Philadelphia Phillies will no longer have $1 hot dog night due to a giant food fight that took place on last year's hot dog night. One bystander told Stand Up for News cold cut reporter, "I looked up and saw nothing but wieners flying everywhere. And then some fans were also throwing hot dogs."
That gets a whistle. Come on. There you go.
Nice. Former Democratic presidential candidate Howard Dean said in an interview on Tuesday regarding President Biden's fitness that he could, quote, beat the daylights out of Donald Trump in a push-up contest. Dean then stood up and paced excitedly across the room and said, quote, not only can he beat Trump in a push-up contest, President Biden can beat him doing pull-ups and sit-ups and bench presses and crunches and squats and bicep curls. Yeah! Dean really needs to lay out the caffeine.
I think he's getting to the age where he wears pull-ups.
He has an unfair advantage with all that cocaine he does. So. That's quite fair. Okay, so the Florida Man Games were held this week in St. Augustine.
Oh, I heard about those. Yeah.
It's where big crowds gathered and cheered for competition and for competitors in live events like evading the police and wrestling over beer. The winner of the competition this year walked away with a 7-Eleven Big Gulp and 2 felony cases.
There's the mullet competition. What is it, like a quarter-mile dash while you're drinking beer? You had to run and drink beer at the same time. Take beers when you ran out. What else was there? Oh, there's a bunch.
Why in St. Augustine and not Pasco County?
St. Augustine's kind of a classy place. Couple
they don't
streets.
represent Florida man well.
Yeah.
You know?
Go to Newport Richie. Come on.
Exactly.
I think Stefano could have wanted some of those, the mullet competition.
Yeah.
He puts like that Jerry killed juice in his hair, don't he?
But he has the smooth mullet.
He gets it like all permed out. And
he has a hip mullet,
In other news, if you say so, Oregon woman's tongue measures at 5.21 inches in circumference. Get that ready for a brand new world record. Okay, you guys, did you hear about that?
Oh yeah.
Scott Patrick covered it when some guy had it a year ago, but it's 5.21 inches in circumference is the new record. I should know. I measured it with my own blank.
That was a horrible whistle. I'm sorry.
I thought you knew what we're doing. I'm not going to tell you what I measured it with.
I'll measure. Well, in other news, I'll be moving to Oregon next week.
They allow they decriminalize cocaine and heroin and all that. So you should.
I'm definitely moving to Oregon. By next week, I mean 2 days.
Oregon to get effed up there.
They decriminalize heroin?
All those heavy drugs like 3 years ago. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I kind of agree with it from an ideological standpoint, but this is a funny show.
Because the problem with all that, they're all getting busted doing it. Everybody goes there. I don't know.
It's better to treat it as a public health issue rather than a criminal justice issue.
Because we know how well America deals with public health issues.
Almost as good as we deal with criminal.
I'm such a square. I'm like, oh my. Guys, stay away from Oregon.
It's like, what's next? A topless strip club? Oh my God.
Vegan pirate strip club in Oregon?
All right, your turn. Over to you with more breaking news, Robin Savage.
Okay, breaking news. Laura Bobart's son was arrested this week for breaking into cars, stealing credit cards, and later making purchases at gas stations and McDonald's with those cards. Bobart told Stand Up for News Team Vandalism reporter he needs to get his life back on track. But in the meantime, if you can get Mama one of those cherry pies when you're at the Mickey D's, I would appreciate it.
Mama loves those.
I didn't know that Bobarts were related to the Bidens.
The one big happy miserable. A woman in Columbus, Ohio, was charged over $1,000 for a Subway sandwich in early January and could not get a refund for several weeks, draining her bank account and leaving her struggling to feed her family. A spokesman sandwich artist for Subway told Stand Up for News that the customer should have been made aware of the recent price hike on Subway's menu items from its latest ad jingle, which goes $1,000 foot longs. I wouldn't have let that one slide by.
Annie. Oh, yeah, they should just get a hold of Jared, the old spokesman there for Subway. He's got plenty of sausage to go around, I heard.
I was going to say, hearing you sing that song gave me real Jared vibes.
Well, because I had my hand on your thigh.
getting it out there in jail. I heard.
You think she just split up the sandwich for the rest of the family to eat? Like make it last for a while?
Portion
Ration it out. Like
You just dropped $200 for the sandwich.
Yeah, that's a $200 piece of ham you're eating right there. Take it easy.
Don't give the dog that.
That's funny. Okay, on a Friday, swimmers in Vermont competed in a 200-meter freestyle race that took place in a narrow pool that they cut out from ice in the cold. That's crazy, right? That's right. Plunging into a frozen lake and swimming laps may not be everyone's idea of a good time, but it is for white people.
Yep, I knew a guy that used to boat polar dive. He had a Down syndrome, and he competed in the Special Olympics for weightlifting and bodybuilding. But every year he got sponsors to help pay for the Special Olympics through the polar dive they have in the Grand River up there in Michigan.
Oh,
My
wow.
buddy James Yeck, he's a good kid. All right,
Yuck,
you
yuck,
want to
yuck.
hear a crazy, sad story? Man?
Oh.
He called me. Last time I talked to him, actually, he called me. He's like, my girlfriend, they just got engaged, right? And they both have Down syndrome. He was crying. He's like, my girlfriend was taken in an ambulance like an hour ago to the hospital with COVID. And they said she passed away. Like literally,
Oh, wow.
he just said, okay. They wouldn't let him go with. So it was the most awkward phone conversation
Yeah,
I ever had with a Down
yeah.
syndrome person in my life, you guys.
You did such a good job in
I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this guy. I'm like, that's crazy, man. I'm so sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
So why are you guys laughing
No,
at this?
you really relayed the
I'm trying to
awkwardness
share
from
a
the story. You know,
story about my friend James Yeck up there in G-Rap.
Shout out to James Rat.
He was a fan of the show. But that's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's terrible.
1 minute you're fine, then you got COVID, then they call an ambulance, and then now you're not alive anymore. And your boyfriend's calling Mac James.
James, you're bringing us down. You know?
I didn't mean to bring you guys down.
Now I wish
Shame
I
on you
passed
for
away.
laughing so hard. All right. An 81-year-old woman becomes the world's oldest fitness instructor and got fitness instructor last week. Did you hear about that? Fitness what? Fitness hearing aid in your ears? Captain Jim?
But the what?
Exactly.
One more time.
Oh, my goodness. Over to Robin Savage with more. Let's get downs with Robin here.
Okay, anyone out there? I'm not the one being offensive. Okay.
Jim,
I take
Jim
offense
was.
to that.
Jim,
They paid me to laugh.
I'm just telling you a story about my friend. I never had a conversation on the phone with someone like that. That was almost as weird as when my
That
neighbor,
is a weird.
a little Asian guy that taught me karate, Mr. Miyagi, he's from Okinawa. You met him. No,
Yeah,
you saw him.
I saw.
Well, he was waving to us one day. He
was
comes
flashing.
over to my house. Like, I never even spoke to him up till that day. And then he's like, James, come here. He gives me this great big hug. And he's crying. He's like, my wife just died. She's in the house dead.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, before I went to hug him back, I was like, you didn't kill her, right? Like, I don't got to help you bury somebody, do I? What's going on?
Is this going to be testimony one of these days?
So he's like, no. And I'm like, oh,
Mr. James, you have
I've spoken to her before. But he did find my son's favorite baseball glove when he lost it, so I would have helped him if I had to, I guess.
You really needed a hand.
I think that's even. Like, my son's baseball glove will help you murder your wife.
It was a
I
nice
didn't even help him murder. I was like, bury
Help me
it.
bury. Okay.
That's not as bad.
That's not as bad.
Yeah. That's funny.
Your turn, Robin.
Okay, photographers captured 2 male humpback whales having sex. Now, experts were amazed, stating this was the first time the species had been documented exhibiting any type of sexual behavior. To which the whale commented, "Oh, honey, we're not named humpback for no reason."
They're starting in Humpback Mountain.
I thought they used in vitro fertilization.
These frozen embryos.
Those are considered children in Alabama. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Frozen embryos. We
Yeah,
studied
yeah.
that last week.
Fast food chain Wendy's is denying that the company's plan to use dynamic pricing will result in surge pricing increases during peak business times. Wendy's CEO said the chain plans to spend $20 million on digital menu boards, which will easily change the prices of items based on demand, but claims that consumers will not see price increases. Customers were skeptical due to the cost of the new menu boards and because of the Wendy's new advertising slogan, which reads, quote, "It's way more expensive than fast food. It's Wendy's." Well, at least they're not charging $1,000 a sandwich. Subway, I'm looking in your direction.
But
Jim,
your patties are fresh and
Jim,
never
did
frozen.
you see they got pistachios on their menu now?
No.
Yeah, you should try them. They're called Wendy's Nuts. Wendy's Nuts are only on the $1 menu now. Try 'em.
Wait, what? These nuts? All right.
Wendy's
Wendy's nuts. I gotcha.
You're a genius. Go ahead.
Earlier this month, 6 doctors swallowed Lego heads all in the name of science to see how fast it would take for them to digest the little plastic toys.
Oh,
You know,
weird.
I personally would like to meet these scientists because every time my head goes into someone's mouth, they refuse to swallow.
Here, but I gotta say something. I gotta be honest, and I heard that joke on Drew Garabo show. I love that show. Yeah, it's called Drew Garabo with John Senning. But we're not supposed to be talking about other radio shows, but I do want to give credit to someone else's Wendy's
First
things.
off,
He's
wait,
not
wait.
the first Wendy's.
oh, no, I thought you were talking about my.
No, you were talking about mine. I want to pause. I want
Who
to
is
say it
this
before
man?
you started. I didn't give him credit yet. That's very funny when I heard it. Yours is very funny too. So
But he doesn't listen.
a deer broke into a local rec center, you guys, in a swimming pool and went swimming. You know, I don't understand why he broke in though. The fee to swim that day, it's still only $1.
It's still just $1. Okay.
All right, let's wrap up the news. Robin, go ahead.
Oh.
No, Robin, you go ahead. Don't listen to him. He's the last person in this room that's in charge. Even Matt's more in charge than Captain Jim.
Hey, at least I know my hand signals.
Even if anybody asked Jim if he was in charge, it would take him about 4 or 5 minutes to explain why he isn't. So go ahead, Robin, and then we'll get to the next segment.
Okay. KFC is coming out with a new item where they put a pizza topping on a piece of fried chicken fillet.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're calling it the chizza. But we all know as soon as someone eats it, it's going to turn into the diarrhea.
Then you mean the diarrhea.
Speaking of diarrhea, we're going to do a segment next. Speaking of diarrhea, called it's Jim's segment. We all know the song, right? It's kind of like what's her name, Carmen Sandiego.
Yep.
So ready? Where in the world is Captain Jim
Seaman?
Seaman? This is a segment about Captain Jim's co-workers on his boat. He'll tell you all about it. Go ahead, Jim. It's your mic.
Thank you, James. All right. I think everybody's familiar with how the game works. I will give you a news story that's happened somewhere around the world that my seamen, the professional sailors that I work with, and
You're
not
seamen,
the
right?
other. Yeah, not the other kind.
What
I
other
don't
kind?
know. I don't. Maybe you
The
don't.
unprofessional kind?
the unprofessional seamen that apparently have rights in
You have more
Alabama
which
that the
on
rest
your
of us
boat.
don't. Yes, you will tell me. I'll give you some options, and you'll tell me where they are. And the winner will receive a fabulous prize at the WTAN prize chest. Are you guys ready to play?
So
That
right.
is definitely not Robin's chest, by the way. I just want Robin's husband to know that. If he's listening out there.
If we see an angry Joe out there in front of the stage.
Yeah.
Okay, question 1. My seamen are in the Middle East and tell me this past Wednesday, a race featuring pilots wearing jet suits, nicknamed the Iron Man race after the Marvel Comics character, took place in this regional state. Are my seamen in A, Qatar, B, Kuwait, or C, the United Arab Emirates? James?
I just read this too. C.
I mean, I just read this as well, and I'm going with C also.
Robin?
I'm going to say Qatar.
Oh.
All right, my seamen are in C, the United Arab Emirates. Good job, James and Manny. The city of Dubai, located in the United Arab Emirates, hosted its first ever jet suit race along its waterfront. The winner of the Iron Man race was the Iranian pilot named the Iron Sheik, who won after grasping the Emirati pilot in his trademark camel clutch and throwing him into the water. At the awards, the Iron Sheik proudly waved the Iranian flag and said he, quote, spits on the America. I don't know what that means. It's good to see you back, Sheik. It's been a minute since we've had any cultural appropriation of Arabs.
I heard that no one knows if he were alive or dead, or if he had thoughts in his head.
Is it true?
Flying
We'll just
as fast as he
pass him
can.
Why
Iron
should
Man.
we even care? All right, I don't know. Okay, next one. Everyone. Good stuff.
All right, question 2.
I tried to add.
My seamen are in Asia and report that a firm is offering employees up to $75,000 to have children to help lift the ailing birth rate in this country. Are my seamen in A, Japan, B, Taiwan, or C, South Korea? James?
B.
I'm going to go with B too because I think Taiwan has a lot of.
I'm going to go with A because I think Japan has like a really aging population, but no one's like repopulating.
But they're pretty horny in Japan. I watch a lot of their porn.
Jesus Christ.
And I think the Taiwanese have a lot of like.
Free Taiwan.
Okay.
Taiwan has a lot of lady boys, so their reproduction's kind of.
All right,
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, my seamen are
I want
in
to change.
C, South Korea.
Oh, dang.
Nobody got that one. A South Korean underwear company, SS Bangwool, I'm not making this name up, said it would give workers $22,000 each for their first and second child and $30,000 for their third to help reverse the country's low birth rate. Researchers attribute the drop in South Korea's population numbers to an aging society, the expense of having children in the country, and the dramatically high numbers of South Koreans that die every year playing the Squid Game.
But how many frozen embryos does South Korea have?
Let me
They
count.
start sending the Alabama embryos to South Korea.
That's true. I'm always thinking,
Okay,
James.
so then they could be like, roll tide, you know?
Change the travel plans. I won't be moving to Oregon. I'll be moving to South Korea.
All right, so we've got it's still a tie between James and Manny. Moving on, my seamen
I
are.
don't think Manny's ever worn a tie in his life.
Moving on. Next, third question. My seamen are in space. Pretty cool, huh? They report that an unmanned robotic lunar lander launched by a private U.S. company landed last Thursday evening on this part of the moon. Are my seamen in A, the lunar North Pole, B, the lunar South Pole, or C, the moon's Sea of Tranquility?
Are you sure it wasn't Uranus?
You know what? I'm not sure. Let me check.
I'll say B then.
I didn't know the moon had different parts to it. I thought the moon.
Oh, there's different regions on it, just like on the Earth. There's different.
I'm gonna go with. B.
I said B.
A. I'm gonna go A.
I'll go with
Copying everyone I
I'll
do.
go with A and C.
What the heck?
I'm going to go with the Sea of Tranquility, which may or may not be C.
The Seamen of Tranquility.
All right.
Sea of Tranquility.
All right, my seamen are in fact in B, the lunar South Pole. Good job, James.
James, you're doing
Yes.
Completely outside of that question. Answer.
The landing site for Odysseus is about 185 miles from the moon's South Pole region, a flat plain outside the Malapert A crater named after Charles Malapert, a 17th century Belgian astronomer and fellow chocolate lover. Issues with measurement lasers caused the lander to hit a rock when it landed, tilting on its side and compromising its mission. The achievement is still inspired rock group REM's frontman Michael Stipe to re-record their famous 1992 hit, Man on the Moon. Hit it! If you believe they put a drone on the moon, drone on the moon.
So silly.
If you
guys.
believe it's just a pinball machine, tilted, you fool. That's one small step for nobody. All right. After three guesses here, James,
It's a
you are
step
ahead.
backwards for REM. Thanks, I win. What I get today?
All right, what James you've earned
Is it
from the
stickers again?
WTAN
I was hoping
prize chest,
for like this.
just in time for autumn.
The socks they give away that you put. Oh, thanks.
Autumn stickers full of beautiful colored autumn leaves.
Those are great.
Get yours today
Why do you
before
have that?
they run out.
Why do you leave him alone? They're cool.
Leave him alone.
They're mine now.
Where did I get your license from? I don't know. This
Oh,
is-
man, that's awesome. Good segment, bud.
yeah, thank you
All
for all for
right,
playing.
so-
Where in the world is Captain GC?
I thought we'd since we got Matt here. Matt, you got any sports stuff today? No? Okay, well, let's get into my segment that I created today called The Mystery of the Missing Radio Set Headsets.
Oh,
So, what happened? They disappeared at the same time our guest, Ryan B. Weiss, Vanilla Weiss,
Weiss.
left his headsets here. He says he didn't have them. and somebody else must have taken. Has anybody turned up the headsets yet? No. So we have a hostage situation.
That's like
so he says his are very expensive. I mean, he left them here, and the ones that we have here, how much are these things run? You don't even know. Well, we gotta replace them because he says he doesn't have them.
Matt held up one finger. $1.
Any other show was here that day that could have taken them? Accidentally? No. All right. Well, we're gonna have to buy a new set.
As a Puerto Rican guy, I feel a little nervous right now.
I went and watched the
only minority here.
Of it. I didn't show anything. It cut out before we all got up and left. So I don't know. So he's gonna look again in his car. Hopefully he finds them in his car. The headsets he gave me were like some other stuff for
like a Walkman from 1987. They were a great pair of headsets.
It's called Def Leppard cassette in here.
He got it from what's his name? From Quill. He got it for Quill and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me borrow your headsets. I'm gonna switcheroo. But yeah, he needs his fancy ones back. He can't even use the ones that he says we have here. But we're going to buy a new pair for him, I guess. I don't really have a choice if we can't figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. It can't be a Brazilian dollars, right?
We'll be taking
from Brazil,
donations through our GoFundMe site.
Go fund us.
Give us headsets.
If every listener contribute $1, we would have $3, guys.
We'll be $78 short.
We'll figure it out, though. So Knocking Boots was a lot of fun last week. You guys had fun?
Great time.
Oh, gosh, I had a phenomenal time.
Best of the Bay. Mike Rivera showing up, even though he hates the smoke. I love the fact that he still supports us.
Taurus did a great job as well, too.
Taurus, he came all the way out from the other side of Brandon or something.
Taurus tore it up.
We got both of them in the future to do some features there. That's at 201 Keene Road, right? You just say it. I just want to get the first part right.
201 Keene Road in Largo, Florida. Knocking Boots Saloon.
We're gonna have some fun there. It's next Wednesday, you guys. If anybody wants to come out, we have Nathan Gilardi. He's headlined at Sunshine and some other comedy clubs. He's from Detroit, Michigan, like me. Go Blue. All right. So how's your podcast going there, Manny?
Going good. We got Scotty Sheen. You Can't Say That's the name of the podcast. High Ground Studios on YouTube. The letter U, Can't Say That. We have Scotty Sheen next week, and we have Gordon Dixon going to be on together, double one.
Oh, Gordon's about to leave for Austin.
Yeah, he's leaving to Austin, Texas pretty soon, so we'll try to get him on real quick. We're filming at Sunshine City Comedy Club. Anybody wants to come through? Show some love. It's at Sundays at 12 o'clock. Jim, you're not welcome.
Yeah, that's what Kenny said.
When you say 12, do you mean noon or midnight?
Yeah, no, noon.
Oh, okay. I would say midnight. I would just be tired. Just exhausted.
At noon, I'm going to be tired.
Not if you take your blue pills that day. You'll be fine.
Then we'll have other issues.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to do laughs from the past, history and news now?
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Okay,
All right, Mom, you got some history to talk about? Fire away.
This day in history, February 29th, 1980, Gordie Howe, at the age of 51, becomes the first player to score 800 goals in the NHL.
Go Red Wings.
Yeah, as someone who was 51 just 2 years ago, I couldn't have made 800 pieces of ice, much less skated on it.
How many ice trades do you have?
He's one of my favorite
So
hockey
much
players.
ice.
Yeah. So, he's around on the ice just like those embryos in over there in Alabama,
All future hockey players.
Yeah, 800 goals. Those embryos got about just as many goals, too, So don't forget about them freezing away there. Jim, what do you got for the history stuff?
This week in 1952, the first pedestrian walk, don't walk signs are installed at 44th Street and Broadway at Times Square. The signs recently celebrated their 72nd year of being completely ignored by New York pedestrians.
Your phone on or something?
I don't know what that is.
Jim? Turn your phone off, Jim.
I knew there was something going on here.
Wow. Your joke was funny if you wasn't talking about yourself.
Grandpa, while your phone's on.
Your phone was playing a long-winded, over-detailed, very
Even your phone won't shut up.
excessively built up to. Can I hear the punchline on your phone? That's what you're saying there.
Did I leave the TV on too?
It really sounds like a cop. Now he has like I knew you're an informant.
It was 2004 on this day that the Return of the King, the last installment of Lord of the Rings, had won received 11 Academy Awards. You guys,
Great
tying
movie.
Ben-Hur from 1959. I don't have a punchline.
Well,
And Titanic got that many too. You know, yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
well, my
I love
precious.
that movie.
I don't know. I love Lord of the Rings. It's a fantastic. And well deserved too. They're in all of them. You know, the last one was great.
If you like to go to the movie theater and fall asleep, that's all I have to say. Start some controversy, okay?
Manny thinks our relationship's like Frodo and his buddy Sam. You know, I would be Frodo. He says, which is.
But I can't.
I think I always like agree because the real hero is Sam Wise. You know, for saving
exactly.
the day.
It was a backhanded compliment. You're the main character, but I'm the
I
real
don't even
hero.
play tennis. But
Yeah, I have one here. In 1940, Hattie McDaniel becomes the first African American actress to win an Oscar.
you
Yeah,
guys keep telling
she
me
won it
ones I
for
want to-
Gone with the Wind, where she played a house servant and former enslaved woman. Talk about method acting. I mean,
Here's the thing.
What a stretch to call that acting. I gotta say.
Here's the thing about that. She was not allowed to go receive her award. Did you know that?
Oh wow!
Are you
But-
kidding me?
Brett Butler, what's his name?
Clark Gable.
Clark Gable, who was also receiving his awards, said, "I will not show up," and none of us are showing up from this cast or from the movie production
Good for him.
if she's not allowed to come in the theater. Did you know that he is half black?
Oh no!
Clark Gable?
Clark Gable is also half African American. But they said he looked white enough that they could pull it off. And but see how crazy stuff was then. But
Yeah.
so they said they had to let her. They had to let her show up and receive her award.
And you know what? Speaking of Lord of
That's
the
how
Rings,
racist crap.
they
was
said
back
they
then,
said
man.
they said Golem wasn't allowed to accept his award. So Elijah Woods and everybody was like, "Listen, I'm not going to show up."
He reached for that brass ring. And they took it through a big old
No, but that's crazy though. I didn't know that. That's an interesting story. That's crazy.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that at
I
all.
think Jim would know. He was there. He was the one voting
was-
for her not to be
what was
allowed to
it?
show up.
The guy was half
bring
black.
her
I was the one that said no. You can't bring her. I've changed. I've changed a lot.
So he was half black. Was he able to halfway get there halfway?
No,
Like, what
he was allowed to go in and get his award, but they said she
Oh, yeah.
wasn't. But he put up the protest to get her award.
do
Yeah,
it. Well,
pretty.
that's like that time Arnold Brando
Pretty,
had that Native American lady come up. Remember? You guys saw that? Accept
I
his
kind
award.
of remember that.
You don't even like Lord of the Rings, Robert. Please.
Yeah, that was
It's so
that was
long.
1973. Marlon Brando for The Godfather, and I can't remember the name of the lady, but he had an African or a Native American woman, represent him, and she talked about the siege at the Wounded Knee and the history of mistreatment,
Oh, I kinda
and they
remember.
were holding back John Wayne behind the curtains. He wanted to come out and actually just slaughter her. He was so ticked.
He's like, Wayne, put your cap guns away, please.
You're not a real cowboy. You're not allowed.
There's also just one other quick story. The Nichelle who played Uhura on the original Star Trek, there was a kissing scene between her and William Shatner, and everyone made a whole big fuss about it. And but William Shatner went to the table for it, and then
Heck
they
yeah,
kept,
he did.
yeah, they kept kissing, and then every time he turned around, he would have his eyes crossed.
Oh, really?
So I'm telling the story wrong, but he basically was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a kiss, and you're not gonna belittle someone."
But everything
bet
was in
when-
black and white at that time.
That was in color, you weirdo. I bet when she found out she got to kiss Will, she shat in her pants.
It wasn't
He's like,
Shatner.
Shatner's a great guy. You know? He's so
I
handsome.
bet she was gorgeous. I can see why he put a
Heck
little
yeah.
protest.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
she
He's
was.
like, listen, you guys are not going to get away with this. I don't care.
It's racist.
Yeah, but they didn't want
They're
to
like,
have
no, she doesn't want to do it.
It's not us, it's her. She does not want to kiss you.
William, she doesn't want to do it. No, you're being racist. A white dude should be allowed to kiss a black chick on TV.
And recently, Jim still has never kissed somebody. Or just kissed.
I can't even.
We're working on that. One step at a time.
His mom won't even kiss him.
For all your ladies, call 727-441-3000.
All the single ladies in the county.
Yeah, you can have his semen to come to your house.
Hey, Robin, did you have a show last night?
I did. We had an all-ladies show at Ordinance 1. It was myself, CP Post,
Hoffman.
Hoffman, and Amanda Hoffman did a fantastic job hosting. Your friend Ginger was there, and Shelly Shells, phenomenal comedian. She's so funny. That's the first time I ever met her.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, she's very low. It's like if Tig Notaro and Stephen Wright had a baby. Just phenomenal. Ginger and CP, they all just knocked out of the park. Great
Did
job.
you meet a friend of mine named Jimmy Mack?
I met Jimmy Mack.
He's
I
old.
did.
He started doing comedy around when I started.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of stopped for a little while. He's older, African American gentleman, so
Yeah.
he's like fishing and drinking probably.
Yeah.
But
He had his
he was
lady with
good. I
him.
wish he would have kept going, but now I guess he wants to get right back into the swing of it. So I hope he comes out to our thing next Wednesday at Knock and Boot Saloon at 201 Keene
Oh, very
in Largo.
cool. Yeah,
at 8 o'clock.
yeah, he was definitely there. He and I had a conversation. So it was
Did you
very
see
cool.
his set?
I did not. I did not.
He
But
said everybody left. That's the way it is. And so, Jim, back to current news. I'll let you pick up where we left off if you would like.
Thank you. Police officers from
You're welcome.
Police officers from departments around Tampa Bay honored retired and deceased canine service dogs at a ceremony in Palm Harbor on Tuesday and spoke of their service and bravery. A police chaplain paid honor to both the Holy Spirit and the canines in a blessing, saying, quote, "Good God, good dog. Good, good God, good, good dog. Who's a good dog? Who's a good God? You want a belly rub? God loves belly rubs too." I hope the fire department has better chaplains than that.
All dogs go to heaven.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Shout out to what's the guy? No Respect. Wow. You just scared me there. Okay, according to a study published earlier this year, people are less likely to wear masks to prevent COVID-19 if they see themselves as good looking. And all this time, I thought Jim was still wearing his mask because he's such a lefty.
It helps.
I was like thinking about music. Do you guys like R&B music?
Oh, yeah.
I hate R&B music, the genre music.
Why?
It sounds good. I just hate genres of music that force me to learn the alphabet. You know, it's bullcrap. Plus, you gotta learn what an acronym is, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta learn what an ampersand is. You know, that little squiggly thing in the middle. Like, what the heck is that thing? You know?
You know, what do you still think your R? R comes before B.
I hate R&B music.
It's A, B, C.
I like the way it sounds. I just don't like the genre.
What's Black History Month?
Don't get me started on that Jackson 5 song, ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta learn the numerical order of numbers too.
Don't even get me started on Rockin' Robin, okay?
Don't get me started on learning numbers and letters just to understand music.
Don't even get me started on Lord of the Rings.
I was like, what does LOTR stand for? What is this? What are they talking about right now? Your turn, Mom.
Okay, female pro golfer Georgia Ball posted a video clip that went viral of a know-it-all male golfer repeatedly critiquing her technique.
Robin, if I can offer you a little advice, you want to tee up your joke a little more precisely, okay?
Okay, thank you, Jim. Now, Ball, who documents her life on social media, remained composed as the off-camera stranger attempted to mansplain the sport's best practices to her.
Robin, line up your premise carefully and then aim for the reveal.
Okay, got it, Jim. In the clip posted by Ball, the man said, "You shouldn't be doing that," adding that he had been playing golf for 2 decades.
Robin, don't do that. I've been doing comedy for 2 years, and you should get a little closer to the microphone. It's just, you follow through on your punchline.
Okay, Ball explained she was going through a swing change and followed it up with a perfect tee shot, to which the man responded, "See how much better that was?" Ball told Stand Up for News golf reporter There are just some men out there who refuse to believe that a woman can handle balls better than they can.
Nailed it. See, now aren't you glad I was here?
Sure. Thanks, Jim.
I'm gonna need someone to explain that second to me.
That's the thing you guys are murmuring about to each other that you can share with the guy that runs the show.
We worked for 3 hours on that, guys. Okay.
That was a large portion of our life. If that was a Subway sandwich, that would have been like $300 worth of sandwich right there.
There was emails back and forth.
There were conference calls. There were in-person
They're doing
meetings.
stuff behind their back, right? Behind their backs.
I'll let you know we have a segment coming up.
Welcome to the Robin and Captain Jim show.
That'd be a pleasant surprise.
That counts as two. Your turn, man.
I was unprepared.
Captain Jim. In breaking news.
Video recorded earlier this month in Ave Maria, Florida, shows an alligator with its jaws open chasing two people who were driving in a golf cart along a sidewalk. The people in the cart swerved off the path away from the alligator, who then walked peacefully back to a nearby pond. Oh, God. For a second, I thought this story was going to say a drunk, naked alligator attempted to rob a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru in a stolen Zamboni machine while cooking crystal meth. You know, crazier things have happened in Florida.
Sounds like every other weekend.
James, I'm sorry I didn't get permission from you to write that story, but, you know.
Well, you don't need permission. I was asking you guys what you were talking about, and you both ignored me like I'm not here, as usual. And then so I just thought I'd rib you about it.
I thought they were the only ones who actually remembered Jim's hand signals. I was like, this was me one of those segments in action.
Did you guys see that viral video of the lady golfing?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys. Okay, watch the video, then rewind. What James and I said. It's hilarious.
It's like watching The Lord of the Rings. You got to come back and watch it again. You don't understand what's going on.
Well, like watching Lord of the Rings. Women's sports is kind of boring, I guess. You're right. I'm sorry. That was a low one. That was a low one.
Future hobbits, man.
Potatoes.
Hobbits.
All right, I don't really have a joke for this one, but this is true, I guess. An airline passenger was arrested at Boston Logan's International Airport for walking through security with a vampire straw, which is weird.
A vampire straw?
Yeah, when I
Straw.
said I didn't mean I have a joke. My joke just sucks. Yeah, but that's true. I don't know what a vampire straw is, but back in my days, our vampires were, chopped out of your neck. We didn't need no third-party object.
Are you saying straw as in
Straw,
walking?
no, straw,
Or straw
I'm
as in
sorry.
like a drink?
Yeah, like a straw, like you drink. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's got a really sharpened end, and no.
Is it like a COVID-19 one for social
Like a
distancing?
wooden stick that's hollowed out.
And they're
and drink
just
through.
shoving it in their chest.
I use mine to suck the blood out of children to stay young.
Oh, my God. Well, it's better than children sucking on your straw.
So you guys,
It's a family.
all his straws are wedged up his nose. So you guys hear about Britney Spears' song "I'm a Slave" isn't allowed to be played anymore?
No.
Well, clearly it's racist. I'm a slave. You've heard it before?
I
I
She
have
has no
not.
clue what it's like to be a slave,
Yeah.
She had that song on her.
I think it only can be played
Dude,
in.
who the heck does she think she is? Kunta Kinte Spears?
Don't they get to have a spear? No, that's
No,
My mom didn't let me watch Roots when I was little.
I was forced to watch Roots.
Oh.
My dad,
Sit here.
my dad cracked out his 6 VCR. He opened it just for that occasion. I can't get into telling you the first time I heard the N-word and then asked my dad what it meant right now, but basically he was saving those cassette tapes for that special occasion and unpackaged the cellophane and everything. No, it's a longer story.
Here's the roots.
No, my best friend Bobby called me the N-word. He's a little black kid I went to school with because I told you before he had he wanted to trade Duke and I had Alpine. Alpine's a black G.I. Joe guy and Duke's the white G.I. Joe guy, and I wouldn't trade with him. So when the teacher was walking into class, he said, he called me that name.
Yeah. You sure he wasn't talking about Alpine?
Well, we got taken down to the office, right? And she handed me a piece of paper. Everything's written in cursive. I'm in 3rd grade. I don't know what it says. I handed it to the lady. She handed it to the principal. When we go in there, he read this and he grabbed me up. He looked like Telly Savalas, big, giant, white, bald-headed guy. He started get ready to whoop me so hard. And Bobby stood up. He's like, I'm the one that said N-word.
Oh, you were going to get in trouble for the
I was
word
about to
being
get beat
said.
with a paddle.
Oh.
Yeah, back when you were allowed to get beaten by a paddle.
Yeah.
In 1992.
literally, yeah, it's probably 1982. Third grade, bro. You're good at numbers. It's subtracting numbers from dates.
No, I just made
So,
it
yeah,
up.
it's-
I was just trying to be funny.
No,
You should not be getting paddled in
1982,
1992.
third grade. My teacher was Miss Molyneux.
Shout out to Miss Molyneux.
You're a very patient lady.
She's probably the hottest teacher I ever had. Too. I didn't want her.
Oh,
Why she like?
you
why she
wanted to be
cursive?
paddled. They're like, please paddle.
Exactly.
me.
Not by my principal though, not
I've
by
been
Telly Savalas. That'd be crazy. It's like a miniature version of Al David.
Like, she did a
Or is
paddle.
what, Al David's a miniature version of him. I mean, so it's Al David. All right. You guys ever? Go ahead, Robin. I'll get to this later.
The lack of snow cancels a dog sled race in Maine, making their annual Iditarod turn into I didn't rod at all. Just terrible, guys.
I love it.
Yeah, I didn't ride.
I didn't rod.
Joke of the day whistle goes to Robin.
In science news, researchers have learned that early humans began no longer growing tails starting 25 million years ago, not by a genetic mutation, but by a, quote, snippet of genetic code which was randomly inserted into early humans during prehistoric times. The discovery provides for the first time an important explanation of how specific genetic traits can occur in a species, like losing a tail, but doesn't explain why after 2 years of being single, I still can't get any tail. Research that, nerds.
All right. The members of a drug syndicate were arrested this week when they were caught hiding meth in Canadian maple syrup.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy. They actually got arrested on charges of trying to make Canadian food tasty. Very interesting, even.
I was wondering, you guys, who was the first person that was so lazy that someone said, "Hey, you brat, you better take that garbage out, or I'm naming this round thing that spins around in a circle after you, Susan." Yeah. Who do you think was the first Susan? And in fact, you know,
Susan,
which
she
brings me
didn't do
to like,
anything.
who was the first Peg? They named a pegging after, you know. Hey, Peg. You know, do the thing. Anyway, what about like what about Swiper from Dora? Just because your parents name you Swiper does not give you the right to go around stealing stuff, does it?
But
Right?
Swiper was a fox,
He
so.
stole stuff.
Yeah.
Well, either
Maybe
way,
he didn't know the
just because your name's Gunner,
No, any better.
just because your name's Gunner doesn't give you the right to run around shooting up schools and stuff, right?
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah. And just because your name's Candy doesn't give Jeffrey Dahmer the right to eat you.
That's true.
right.
Just because you're Esterline doesn't mean you have to keep everybody in line.
You want to know
What you do?
my theory about Plain Jane? She just wanted to fly, right? But no, they named her Plain Jane because she used to get really high, you know, so high that the guys that she would sleep with, the line would be like a mile long. That's where they got the Mile High Club
Yeah.
for Plain Jane.
She was so high. Was it a line of men or a line of cocaine?
A little bit of both, bud. It was a little bit of both.
Yeah, well, this is heading on a high note.
I'm done with those, all right, so we've covered everything but plugs.
But plugs.
But plugs. So who's got some plugs? Jim, where are you performing next?
I'm hosting at the Twisted Tiki next month, the 29th.
June 22nd, isn't it?
No, March.
March
March
29th.
29th.
He said
Yeah.
June. Did I say June?
Yeah, someone said
March 20-something?
March
what?
29th.
March 29th. That's a
Twisted
Friday.
Tiki.
It's not in
Twisted
June,
Tiki.
right? Will June be
Stand-up
there?
event.
All right. Okay. So, Twisted Tiki, who's going to be there? You know,
No, I know because I'm not on social media.
Rick Stepensky's going to be
Stepensky.
back.
And
Best of the
Dan
Bay
Harlan.
winner from 3 years ago. Well, I guess that's our show, right? You guys had fun, right?
Great
Yeah.
time.
Matt's saying, wrap it up, you guys. He's got to go home and eat dinner. Ready?
Stand up for news. Stand up for news. Stand up for you. You can stand up too. Don't sit down. Stand up now. Stand up for news. Stand up for news.
All right.